that VIP service. So what I wanted to do as we get rocking and rolling, I wanted to take some time out to really allow some of our CBA students to kind of just talk about their experience here in Cash Buyers Academy. So I'm not sure if any of our students want to just feel free to unmute yourself and just kind of introduce yourself. Tell us, maybe in two to 3 minutes, your experience at Cash Buyers Academy. If we can get 3 of our students to step up, that'd be appreciated. And then we're going to start having some fun today.
Yep. And before we do that, let me just kick us off. So shout out to our lead instructor, Isaac Grace, right? Again, pouring in. Isaac and I came together about a few months ago after Jay-Morrison Academy has been doing this almost 7 years, educating, mentoring, right? And Isaac was like, how can we get students to have even more success? Yes, we got success stories, but how can we handhold them? How can we increase their experience? And so we collaborated on this Cash Buyers Academy initiative to be like a Jay-Morrison Academy 2.0, to be like a next level of mentorship, of engagement, of experience, of information, and on top of the 4+ mentorship sessions every single week, not like a weekly call here and there, but at least 4 sessions every week. There's a private student community with like over 1,000 students that network and build their own teams together and do deals together. And we fund your deals. So we'll help you find the deals, evaluate the deals, help you crunch the numbers on the deals, role play to get nice with your communication and articulation with buyers and sellers, understanding contracts. We'll refer to systems to you that you need, teach you how to work the technology and the systems you need to market for off-market deals, how to deal with realtors, how to deal with lawyers, how to deal with motivated sellers and buyers. And again, we'll cash out and fund your deals for you and with you. So this is the experience at Cash Buyers Academy. And tonight we invited former students in. We invited Instagram and Facebook in. And anyone who's watching this who is not, who's watching it on IG Live or Facebook Live, you guys can get the full lesson tonight totally for free. You can be a student with our students who have invested to be a part of this mentorship program. You guys can text cash, what's that?
CBA funding.
CBA funding, excuse me. Text CBA funding to 31996 and we'll send you a link back to watch this full private lesson. So for everyone on social media, we're going to be cutting the cameras off in the next 10 minutes. You got to go to CBA funding. Text CBA funding to the number 31996 and we'll give you a link for this private lesson. So it's a free lesson for the whole community tonight on the fundamentals or the foundation to deal evaluation. You can see a house, you can see a bando, you can see a foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, tax lien, somebody, your mama's friend is selling the house, you inherited a property, but how do you evaluate that property to know if it's a good investment or not, to wholesale, to flip, to be a landlord, to syndicate, whatever it is. We want to teach you those fundamentals tonight. And so now we'll pass to our students to tell you a little bit about their experience under our mentorship and under this super 2.0 Jay-Morrison Academy program that King Isaac is leading under Cash Buyers Academy.
Yes, sir.
So who we got in the queue for our students? Step up and tell the world how you guys have been being blessed tonight.
You guys should have the ability just to unmute yourselves.
I like to tell the world that we've been blessed.
Who are we speaking with first? What's your name? Where you from, King?
My name is Joseph Andrews. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
What's going on, King?
Peace, King Joe.
So my experience from CBA has been wonderful. Constant education, a community of people to network with and to build inside your own interior communities like I have done so in my Jacksonville market. Opportunities of having a mentor to reach out, just be able to be a part of day for day, to communicate day for day, and to be able to reach out if there's an issue.
Yes, sir.
It's totally worth the investment, and I would advise anyone to do it, honestly.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
That's right. King Joe and that Jacksonville crew getting busy down there, man. So we got students that are partnering with students and putting that work in.
Yeah, we're going to get you down here.
Yes, sir.
We'll get there.
All right, maybe. Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Quest. I'm brand new from Jacksonville, too.
Jacksonville.
And, I just wanted to say, man, this is amazing. I've been in it for just about a couple of weeks, and I was skeptical. I won't even lie. But yesterday we had a session where we went through some people's deals that were in the process, almost done. And just to hear them go through the process and how young King Isaac broke down what your KPIs as far as how many leads you need to really get your sale. Just making it a math problem instead of an emotional problem was so dope.
Yes, sir.
And I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to everything. And I appreciate what you're doing too, up in Atlanta. King Jake is it's amazing. You stay strong. Don't listen to all that talk.
Yes,
Love,
sir.
thank you.
Brother Kless, appreciate you, man. Now let's get one more good one.
Hi, this is Terrence.
Oh, go ahead, Terrence.
No, go ahead, Queen. You go ahead, Queen.
Okay, well, hello, everyone. This is April Whitfield from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey, Queen April.
Greetings, hello. So I actually started studying real estate through the JMA Academy. My husband signed up, and I took a bit more interest in it, and so I took advantage and started studying through that. And really, your course, King Isaac, is an answered prayer, because I promise you, maybe a month or so before you announced that you were going to do the CBA family, I was telling my husband, I love this course, it breaks it down, from credit to business to real estate. You guys did an excellent job in the JMA Academy. And I was like, I would just really love if I could further my education on the systems and really watch King Isaac do some one-on-one calls. And then you announced the CBA family, and I signed up immediately. I was
Beautiful.
like, look at God. So I'm so grateful to be here. And I'm still learning and growing my business and taking baby steps and just grow. And I love the positive energy that everybody brings to the table. Everybody's so encouraging, and it's all about mindset. And it's just a beautiful environment to learn and grow and flourish in legacy over lifestyle, baby.
Talk that talk. I love it.
There
I
you
love
go,
it.
Queen. All right, Queen, get us pumped up.
Legacy over lifestyle. I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get King Terrence. I heard King Terrence in there. We'll squeeze one more in there, and then we're going to get into class. We're going to start having some fun. We're going to talk real estate. We got a lot in stores for you guys. Pull your pencils, your notebooks out. Get the babies out the way, because this free lesson is really going to show y'all what the power you can do with this information.
Right. For our live streamers, this is not lifestyle education. This is not fancy cars and all that. This is real learning. This is legacy learning right here. So this might seem a little slow for you, because we live in a fast-paced lifestyle where everything has to be entertainment and fun. But the fun is you learning something that your parents may have not taught you, that schools didn't teach you, and that you now have the education to teach your kids or your next generations. That's the fun part, is learning something new and us being the generational legacy setters for our last name. So, King Terrence, take us home before we get started with tonight's lesson.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. First and foremost, man, I just want to thank you, Jay, for putting all this stuff together. Because without you and this vision, we wouldn't be here. So first, we have to take our hats off to the founder, the one who had the visionary, and not just with the real estate, of course, with all the other stuff that you're doing too. We're not even going to go into that. But I appreciate all that you're doing. But with the CBA, I started off just like you said with the JMA.
Gene, is there somebody else unmuted?
I learned a lot through that mentorship, just learning wholesaling and so forth. But then when the CBA came about, and then just to learn who Isaac was, because this was the introduction for me to Isaac, and how his passion is to really educate us on creating a legacy, building our businesses, and like he said, the systems that he's teaching us, the mannerisms of how to not just create our business, but also look professional when we're out there in the field. He gives us all the tools. For me, I really, just like the Queen was saying, this definitely is a blessing. It's a gift from God for our community. So I look at all the CBA family, the ones that's in the chat room, the ones that really grinding hard, trying to make this thing a reality. I really just say to everybody, man, it's possible. You see me, I got one deal, but you once I get that more system and all that other stuff into play, I can definitely see this thing being what we all envision this thing to be. But we have to put forth the work. It works. It works. So I just want to salute both of you guys and the team behind the scene. Everybody who's committed to make this thing a reality. You know, I salute you all. You know, I really do. So that's what I want to say. I appreciate this opportunity. And I love you all.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love you too, King. Appreciate you.
Hey, King, how long have you been in Cash Buyers Academy?
I started in August.
Okay, you started in August. You got your first deal closing in a week or two. How much are you making on that deal?
Well, I'm making 25.
Okay.
You know, I had the potential of making more, but I'm making 25.
Okay,
2,500?
25,000.
25,000.
You say 25 just loosely, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure every time when that Cash Buyers talk, 25,000 when his first deal started in August. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. And how much money did you invest to get to? How much money have you invested in this 3 months so far to make that 25,000?
I invested like 1,500.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna remember that you made 25,000. You profited 25,000. You invested 1,500. So before the end of the call, we're going to determine what your return on investment is. After we identify it to the group, we're going to let everyone know what your return on your investment is so far in Cash Buyers Academy. So team, make sure we don't forget that. Somebody hold us accountable so we can determine what was Terrence return on investment 90 days in Cash Buyers Academy. Appreciate you, brother.
Oh, yeah, we're going to break that down.
We break it down.
Our first lessons. Before Isaac gets started, just want to remind everybody again, text CBA funding to 31996. That's CBA funding to 31996. If you're not already in this chat and in the group, you'll have access to this whole entire lesson, probably about an hour plus lesson tonight on real estate math, the foundation to deal evaluation. Everybody in every home should know how to look at any piece of property and know, nah, that's a dump, or that's a deal, that's a steal. Everyone should be able to do that. There's no reason we all don't got the basics of real estate math in our households.
Yep. And for my Instagram live over here, we're about to the send off of live as class gets started. So again, same thing for you guys. Text CBA funding to 31996 to get into this class because we're about to get off Instagram live over here. Appreciate you guys.
Students only.
Students only.
The learners only. Get your notepads and pens out. Put your nerd glasses on and let's go.
All right, let's get rocking and rolling. All right, so I'm excited for tonight's class. I'm going to be kind of being our host. I'm going to get us started. I'm going to tell you guys my journey in real estate a little bit and how I made my first investment, and we're going to kind of break down that ROI. King Jay's going to jump in, and he's going to take over and really break down the foundation of deal evaluation. So you guys are going to love it, and literally you'll be able to apply this information first thing in the morning when you're talking with sellers, you know, when you're evaluating deals. Some of you guys probably got appointments tomorrow, so this stuff here is really going to help you have a clearer mindset going into tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. Again, pencils, papers, lock in, because this stuff ain't being taught in our schools or in our households. So lock in. So what I want to talk about first is I got into real estate back in 2014, right? I met King Jay on Instagram. I signed up for Jay Morrison Academy. So I was a student just like a lot of you all. I was a student just like a lot of you all. So that caused me, I was motivated and hungry for a better way, right? At the time, I was a high school dropout. I had my first daughter. She was just turning 1. I was in the streets hustling. I had no guidance. I didn't know what wealth was. I didn't even know about legacy. I never thought about my grandkids, my great-great-grandkids. Met King Jay. I love the fact that, you know, he was in real estate and, you know, he wearing nice suits. He was very clean. He was very articulate and professional. But what really inspired me was his message for black people in America. Never did I have a man, a big homie, a father figure that was saying that, yo, listen, black men and women, we got to wake up. You know, if you never watched the Wake Up video, go to YouTube, Jay Morrison Wake Up, check that video out because it really inspired me because, you know, that was my first time seeing someone that actually cared and talked highly of our people. So I instantly locked in, you know, and when I got into real estate, I got my first wholesale deal done In 6 months, I made $12,500, which was great. I was the middleman, wholesaling in a nutshell is being a middleman or woman between a motivated seller and a cash buyer, right? And we teach in Cash Buyers Academy how to do that in 3 simple steps. So once I took heed to the business, that was the first legal dollar I ever made, paid to the order of Isaac Grace Investments. It was no turning back for me. On my journey, I had to self-develop myself. I had to change my atmosphere. I had to make some sacrifices. I had to allow my body to adapt to entrepreneurship. So I struggled early on. I struggled with confidence. I struggled with, the information. I struggled with articulation, talking in live conversations back and forth with sellers. But you know what? I persevered and I pushed through it. Right before I was going to quit real estate, probably a year and a half into real estate, I had tried to get my CDL license. I even went and was going to buy a car detail shop from a guy in my neighborhood for like $15,000 because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to make my own and build for myself, but I wanted the easy way out. And real estate was not as easy as I thought it would be for long term. So paid to get my CDL license done. The day that I was going to go out and start driving in the trucks with the permit driver, I got scared, left, wasted my money, literally $3,000 down the drain. And I said, you know what? This is going to be hard too. Driving trucks, so I quit. Same thing with the car detail. I reneged on the deal. I decided not to move forward. And I told myself, you know what? Real estate will be the best industry for me because of the lifestyle I wanted and the legacy that I was trying to build, right? So let's talk about real estate now. Let's talk about first why real estate and all the great benefits of real estate, right? Because a lot of people they have their own conclusions on real estate, but they don't really think about and leverage all the benefits, right? Other investments like stock and cryptocurrencies and Forex, they're great investments and they can yield you money on your money, but there's no industry like real estate that has multiple layers of benefits stacked on top of one another, right? And real estate in America that's the wealth game. You actually get rewarded for buying real estate. And we're going to talk about that on today's lesson, but you actually get rewarded, from a tax standpoint when you buy real estate, so let's talk about them benefits, King. So I'm going to tag you in and you're going to help me out here. Let's talk about some benefits of real estate investing, right? Because a lot of people don't know. They just think that you could do a fix and flip and make money, or you can do a no money down deal, or you can buy a rental and hold it. Those are all true facts, but let's dig to the root of the true benefits of real estate investing.
Yeah, I think one of the dope parts is that you could clearly identify multiple ways to get an ROI, right? So you have just renting a property out. If I buy a property, I can either rent rooms out, I can Airbnb, or I can just rent it out to a tenant, whether it be a 2-family, 4-family, or a 98 unit, but I can get rental income, people paying me. After, again, we evaluate that deal, subtract our expenses, we get some kind of profit, and then inevitably an ROI, return on our investment, right? So you can make rental income.
Yep.
Great. Now we know we can buy a property, maybe sometimes don't even fix it up. Just buy it low and just sell it high and make a profit. No fix up, no renovation, no rental. Just find a property for the low, buy it for the low, sell it for high.
Yep.
You got those avenues. You could go to the tax lien or sheriff sale, buy somebody's old tax lien, tax deed. If they don't pay you back in a year, you can foreclose on it and get a property for low and sell it for more, or own it, keep it, rent it, whatever.
Right. Or
at a sheriff sale, if they pay you back, they got to pay you back depending what state you're in, 18 to 21% interest on your money.
On the money, yeah.
Another way to make money. These are all real estate ways to make an ROI in one industry.
Right.
Then we got our fix and flips, our buy and holds. Then we got our equity and appreciation.
Yep.
So whether you're an investor or just a homeowner, you could just live in a property, just live.
Right.
And over time, that property will go up in value in most markets.
Right.
And you can tap into that equity by selling down the line.
Right.
And if you're a homeowner, when you sell, you can get up to $250,000 of profit tax-free because you're living there. The government doesn't tax you in the first $250,000. And if you're a married couple, they don't tax you in the first $500,000.
Gotcha.
Or you could refinance, go to the bank, get a new loan, and pull that money out tax-free through a refinance. So we just covered like 8 ways you can receive an ROI in real estate, many of which are tax-free. If you're fixing and flipping, You can defer your taxes to another investment called a 1031 tax exchange, so you don't get taxed on your profits. You put them into another property and pull them out later, right? So these are all the benefits, right? The power and control of the real estate,
Yep.
the air rights, the mineral rights of the real estate, and as you mentioned, the tax advantages.
Yep.
Writing off the interest on your mortgage, writing off maintenance, writing off depreciation, cost segregation.
Yep.
All these, that's like 14 ways.
Literally.
And benefits from one industry, from one kind of asset of why we're excited about
I
it.
love it. I love it. So let's recap on that real quick so everybody can take some notes. So the first thing he talked about was multiple ways to make an ROI, right? So in our terms, we like to call that cash flow, right? So in real estate, one great benefit is you can create a cash flow, whether you're flipping properties consistently each month, whether you're wholesaling properties, or whether you're collecting rental income, right? So cash flow is a benefit of real estate. So everybody should be writing cash flow down on their paper. Then he talked about equity and appreciation, right? So let's talk about equity first. So equity is what you owe on the property versus what it's worth, right? So let's just say you owe $50,000 on a property, or better yet, you find a seller that owes $50,000 on her property. Then you go out there, you pull some comps, you determine ARV, which we'll be talking about what that means, and you find out that the ARV is $150,000. That seller has $100,000 in equity because they owe $50,000. It's worth $150,000, and there's money in between there, right?
So
difference. You can make plays in between that. So that's what equity is. Appreciation is when something appreciates. Appreciate means goes up over time. So let's just say that same property that can be worth $150,000 in 2020. Let's say 5 years from now that property's worth $170,000, right? It appreciated $20,000, in value over time. So that's three benefits right there: cash flow, equity, appreciation. We talk about, tax advantages, which we just spoke about, which has helped me this year. As you start to become high net worth earners, you need strategies. You need tax strategists to figure out, how can I defer my taxes, right? I hear a lot of rappers, I hear it in their music where they said, I made a couple mil and paid a couple million in taxes, right? That's not something we should be bragging about. You should figure out, how do you keep your money, right? The goal is not to pay Uncle Sam. Pay him as least as possible. So if I got to defer my investment, you do a fix and flip, you make 50 grand. Of course, you want to cash out and go ball out, but the smart and the legacy move would be to, like King Jay said, defer that to a 1031 tax exchange where you take not only the money you invested plus the profits, and you roll that into another investment where you don't have to pay them capital gains, right? So we have also cost segregations, right? So if you buy assets, right, you're able to depreciate them assets over a period of time. Again, you need professionals for these type of things. That's why we always teach being an expert at hiring experts. But these are all great ways, as you guys get on your legacy journey, you become high net worth earners, serious business owners. You're going to need to leverage real estate to get your taxes written off, to keep your tax liability as low as possible, to keep that wealth and pass that on to the babies instead of giving that to Uncle Sam. Right? And then that's number 4. We talked about the air rights, the mineral rights. So anything under your asset or above your asset you own, you find out that you got gold on your land, you find out that you got some rich soil that some farmers need, you can have so. And then the pride of ownership. I think that's like one of the biggest ones that
the pride, the morale, seeing your name on that deed is a big feeling. And for those who are not part of this class, it is over for you guys. You better text and get in ASAP. It's a wrap. It's only for students only. So now I love